So it's a week later and we've been installing the underfloor heating system, which we got from New Heat. So the first stage was lapping the membrane over the top of the foamed glass and putting another layer on top, and this completely encloses the foamed glass, which means that if in the future you wanted to, you can take the slab out and reuse it. It just keeps it nice and clean. On top of this, we've put a grid system, which we got as part of the kit from New Heat. This comes on a roll, and it's definitely a two-person job installing it because it doesn't like to lie flat and it's very springy. When you cut around the edges, it can be quite sharp, so do watch out for that. I've held it down using these pavers just to keep it flat, and then it makes it a lot easier in the installation, so try and have something around the place. So New Heat supply a full manual for the installation, and they also do a really nice little diagram which shows all of the heating zones and which length of pipe. On this project we've got 6 different manifolds which are going in, so 6 different heating zones, and different lengths of pipe ranging from 50 metres down to 30 metres, and you have to put the right length of pipe in the right zone and in the right order. If you like working things out, then it's a really good job. If you don't like this kind of getting your head around things, or basically if you like Lego as a kit, you'd probably enjoy this. I like Lego. What I would recommend is getting some knee pads, because when you're kneeling on the foamed glass, I've got the builder out front, sorry about the noise. Yeah, kneeling on the foamed glass can be a bit uncomfortable. Get a pair of knee pads, it's much better. On top of the grid system, we have these clips. Now, they've got a sticky strip on the back. You take that off, lay it out, attach it with some cable ties, which are supplied as part of the kit. I'd recommend getting some extra cable ties, especially little ones. And when the pipes are going in a curve, it just helps to lay them a little bit flatter. They kind of pop up slightly. Also, the pipes, like cables, when it comes off the coil, it's kind of slightly twisted. So whoever's feeding out the pipe, if you just give it a little untwist as it goes, then it helps the pipes lay a lot flatter. So we discovered that, which is really helpful. In terms of cutting things, tried various things, including Stanley knives, wire cutters, but I had a pair of secateurs and they're actually perfect for cutting this. It's kind of like surgical scissors, and the secateurs can hook underneath a little bit better on the netting and the plastic, and they're absolutely ideal. I've completely wrecked a pair of secateurs, but it was worth it. This is also really useful. Sometimes when you're pushing the pipes down with your foot into the clips, you can't get enough purchase, and I happen to have this lying around with a bend in it, and it's actually really good. You just pop it underneath the grid as you're trying to push the pipes in, and it just gives you something a bit more secure to push your foot against, and you don't have to like stamp on the pipes or abuse them. So that's a really good homemade tool. But anything works. That's just handy to slide under. Like I say, have plenty of blocks around the place. Think about it, plan it, follow the plan, and you can't really go wrong. It's very satisfying and not too difficult. So all the manifolds eventually are going to be on the other side of this wall. So I've got all the excess cable coiled there, leaving plenty to feed through and work with. It's about the length, it's about the height of the ceiling we've left, and then whatever excess there is. It looks a bit messy, but that'll all get tidied up. We've missed out the edges of the kitchen because there are going to be kitchen units in here, and you don't want to heat underneath that. So New Heat worked that out as part of the plan. All the main pipes essentially come through here. This batch are shooting to the front of the house, and these are feeding the 2 the two systems which are doing the dining room. So essentially you just take it straight away and then loop it backwards and forwards. The looping backwards and forwards is really quick. The bit that takes a little bit of time is the in-between parts, especially like the hallway, getting it around, just thinking about it. On the perimeter walls, we use Cork. So the cork comes in slabs, and then you have to cut it to 100 mil strips, and these are put around the perimeter walls. I haven't done this room yet, and that just acts as an expansion kind of buffer for the slab when it goes in. This stuff smells amazing. It's like it just smells like a ski chalet, or just really wholesome. I love it. Yeah, so essentially you put the clips down. I'll just take this out to show you. And then as you go around and lay it, you just lay it across the clip that you want and push it in with your foot, and it's that simple. Another tip: so when you're laying the grid, do have extra cable ties, just to hold the grids together and keep them nice and flat, because like I said, they do have a tendency to roll back up again. So the pipework, to make sure that it doesn't get damaged, it's essential to make sure that the maximum radius that you have is 150. Otherwise it kinks and it can stop the flow of water going through the pipes. So we found that is every third clip putting it through, so we've worked on that basis and that seemed to work perfectly. This entire floor is now heat pump ready, which I'm working on the heat pump. Unfortunately, by the time I order it, it's going to be about 8-week lead time, so I've got another 2 months without heating as a minimum, which is going to be fun. Really cold outside. It's about 2 or 3 degrees. It's cold working here at the moment. I wish I'd done this in the summer, to be honest. Some underfloor heating pipes have a metal core to them, and apparently when you bend them, they stay in shape a little bit better. These don't, so you do have to wrestle them slightly. And it's definitely a 2-person job, even though online there's one guy going off and making it look really easy by himself. But yeah, definitely get some help from a friend. Oh, the front room has got the cork installed around the perimeter. It's probably sitting a little bit high in places because I've got a slight plinth where the foundations come out, but that's okay because we're going to cast the slab and then just go around with a multi-tool and go zoop and take the top of the cork off so that is completely flush, and then the floor finish will oversail it and it's going to be really tidy. I've taken the skirting board off here because it smelled a little bit damp. I've put that aside. It's an original skirting board and that'll go back on again. Yeah, I got help from people, and I realised that you shouldn't really assume that folk know how things work. So a basic thing is with cable ties, they're handed. So if you put it in the wrong way round, then it doesn't actually grip. It just kind of slides through and it comes off again. So you have to make sure that you put it through the right way, and then that you get that really satisfying sound. And then So after doing a bit of research into the double glazing, I found a company who I really like. They're local, the prices are good, and they gave me some properties that I could go out and look at the install of the windows, and they look fantastic in properties similar to this. So I'm really happy with that. They're coming out to measure up later on this week, which is good, and we'll have a lead time for that. I got a couple of quotes for stonemasons to sort out the stonework on the front of this building. It's completely fried because people have put filler into it over the years, and the water has got into the stonework and just basically crumbled it behind the paint and the filler. So we're taking that back. They're going to reface the stonework and then put indents in wherever the stone has is so destroyed that it can't be saved. And again, the neighbours around the corner have used this guy. Love his work. Saw them walk past their houses, and it actually made me stop and look at it because the stonework was so good. Asked them who did it. Got a quote from him. Got a quote from a couple of other people. The guy I loved, his quote's the best, so I'm going to go with him, which is really exciting. So the order will be get the stonework done, and the windows go in afterwards. Then if I want to put in internal wall insulation, which is an option on the front here, that'll go in after the windows. And I've had a chat to somebody about internal wall insulation. Really quite excited about that. I've got an invite to visit his yard and look at it all in person. He favours breathable materials. We've got hemp, cork, lime, all the things I love. So we'll go and see Nick over the next couple of weeks. But I've got the order sorted, which is great, and I'm going to commit to the cost of that because I'm comfortable and it just needs to be done.